We're playing a heroic deck as the first thing today, featuring Leyline of Resonance, a card that sacrifices stability for explosiveness, and Turn Inside Out, which is a +3 power combat trick, which seems pretty good to copy with Leyline. It's also pretty nice to manifest Dread in a deck like this. You have cheap creatures, so you're going to be able to flip your monsters for cheap, right? You just need to pay 1 mana to turn your manifest into a Clever Lumimancer. Stand Inside Out better than Titan Strength. It seems pretty obviously better to me. Seems way better to me. I have not visited Jabłocie. Opponent reveals Kahira, the Orphan Guard, which probably means blue-white control. I'm on the play, I have 2 monsters, 2 combat tricks and 3 lands, so pretty good. The only thing I would have wanted to happen is if one of the lands would have been a Leyline. Also, Clever Lumimancer, a pretty funny card in a deck like this. It triggers on copying a spell, so it gets really big with a Leyline. Of course, the flip side is that it's a 0/1. I'll play the Show-Off. Next turn my opponent is going to resolve a main deck High Noon, assuredly. Sad. Pitched NMLL. It's not a great sign. Let's play Hoplite. Indeed, under NML. Okay, under Lumimancer. Next turn we hit real hard with Homestead Courage. Bobsy says, one of my friends is in Poland and he couldn't figure out the trains, so got a taxi from Katowice to Krakow. That sounds made up. Let's play around Verdict. Villain takes 10, next turn. I 7 life. Okay, I should have probably put the counter on the other creature, then I would have been better against Emperor, but now we're fine. In either direction. Guess I need to cast a spell first, so let's do it. So now it's lethal. Hopefully no Settle the Wreckage, I'll sack. And now we killed the villain. So we're up against control. I'm probably interested in Loran's escape to protect my creatures harder. I might be interested in Light of Hope as High Noon is very popular and Light of Hope kills it. Homestead Courage protects from, well, Emperor. So does Loran's Escape. Probably better way overall. More flexible. So if I board those 7, I think Lumimancer is a little bit awkward. I don't always want to cast spells. I won't always have spells to cast. It's got double Monstrous Rage, double Homestead Courage, a Crumb and Get It, and 2 Lumimancers. Let's keep the ley lines, because we need to hard test the ley lines. Well, I have to give it a try. A land is okay. Tricks are, I guess, okay. Unless villain kills my Swiftspear, then they're not okay, but nice stable deck. Well, as I claimed right at the beginning, we are sacrificing stability. Modo is kinda stuttering for me. I don't know if anyone in the chat is playing right now. Is it the same for you? This was nice. I spent my mana on Slickshot Show-Off, but they were unable to spend theirs.
He's a phenomenal control player.
It is very laggy, kind of barely playable. If I wasn't playing an aggro deck, then I don't know if we would have been able to. Dwadzieścia 24. Broski. Do better next time. Not sure what I am supposed to do. That's fine. Now I have a shit ton of mana. And once I finally draw a combat trick, I'll copy the heck out of it. Unfortunately, if you destroy an enchantment, you cannot choose different modes with Light of Hope. March. Sure. Feel a ruin, that's too much, bro. I can't take it. Oh no, I became a floater. I floated for no reason. I could cast it to free the lockdown creatures, but I think I'm saving Light of Hope for next game.
He's a phenomenal
For
control
what it's worth,
player.
Leyline of Resonance was absolutely horrible this game. What a combo. First, remove all of the basics from your opponent's deck, then use Field of Ruin to destroy their lands and they can't fetch the basics. What a combo. Can keep the Vantage to loot it away with my Virtuoso. Tectonic Edge. It's a Tectonic Edge that does not lose you a land. Also, Tuco CR and Icy Wolf here, and thank you guys for the subs. We appreciate it a lot. Gigabytes of you to do that. Kahira gets summoned. I think now it is time to destroy target enchantment. 0 remaining, cast. Nope. Let's try again. Seems like Light of Hope is much worse than I suspected. I think the so-called bug, but I just can't cast it. Click it, cast it, destroy enchantment. Choose any mode, doesn't work. Restart mode, ... Yeah, that's clearly gonna help. It might as well. Apply for refund. I'm playing from the Daybreak account. It's nothing to refund. Alright, chat. Do you think I will be able to cast my Light of Hope now? Sure. Can't cast your Light of Hope, just restart Modo. Saving my Inspiring Vantage to loot it away. Made me run into this No More Lies, which is perfect. But let's draw a combat hacking trick, maybe. Nope. I think I would rather keep Loran's Escape to protect my creatures rather than just casting my card. Trying to surveil into combat tricks and dealing damage with the Hoplite. Notably, Loran's Escape not all that good to copy. 5/6 Vigilance. Kurwa, ale gówno. I mean, basically I need just one trick that's good, and we're gonna be in an okay spot. I'll block. I guess I can block the Kahira. Can take 5, doesn't seem to matter. What is this hard testing methodology? It's to play leagues and hard test. It's kind of self-explanatory, or rather should be. Does it trigger heroic 3 times? Doesn't, right? Cast a spell. I have to not give protection from white to any creatures. No protection from white because I want to be able to protect with Loran's escape. So we're top decking, we're drawing an Ancestral Recall right now. Well, unless my opponent counters a spell. It's a very good question, Olsen. So far, Leyline has been pretty bad, and I'm just getting anything from it in this 11 turn game. I guess it's pretty okay at this point. March, no i chuj, umarł. Green Triumph, 1 card in villain's hand, and I cast Ancestral Recall. Is Stream Decker dead? It's probably just... I mean, have you tried typing exclamation mark deck? Onlylands.com, but Loran's escape can be helpful. Well, I guess counters don't matter. If they normalize the Loran's escape, it doesn't matter. So playing a Tapland is unfortunate, unlikely to punish me. Cockdown is a card I can't protect from. Do I want to scry free? I think so. Wouldn't you want to play Defiant Strike if you play 4 Leylines? I net decked, but I had the same thought as I was net decking. That perhaps I would. The card drawing ones are pretty decent. Not... holy shit, we had the trigger left. Not sure if it's Leylines being bad here or we just had an underwhelming draw. Well, those are cards, they cost like... those are cards that you have to draw it. So like, how can you even say that, right? Those, in fact, clearly contribute to the badness of a draw. Didn't the last card destroy enchants? Question mark. Very good question. Didn't it? That is the Lulu flashbang. Okay. Have to dodge Cockdown. Okay. So now villain has 4 cards in hand. I would need to draw something good. That's a creature. But at this point of the game, I am unlikely to win, as my deck does not contain 4 copies of Memory Deluge, unlike opponent's deck, which does. Alright. Homestead Courage would be more spells to cast. What are the showdowns? The 4-drop slot is taken by Leyline of Resonance right now. I could actually cut God's Willing because it's kind of ass. We drew it and it was pretty bad, frankly. Probably want all the creatures on the play. You have 19 tricks. LFG go. Put back Mountain because Villain is playing Field of Ruin, so it's free to put it back, but unfortunately I only drew monsters, so I need tricks, and if I draw a Leyline it's gonna be pretty bad. Yep. Przecież Crumb daje lepszą protekcję niż Loran. No jak lepszą daje? Land. Likier z mojej pałki, kurwa nie. At least you can connive the ley lines away with Virtuoso. Map connive synergy. Where is the synergy exactly? Could you point me to it? Beza. Beza should draw your opponent a card if they have less cards than you do. Hi. Noon. Okay. This model has seemed to speed up a tiny bit. But we'll hardcast one of the ley lines. Villain pondering if it's worth countering. It probably is. I guess we can crack Field of Ruin first to get an untapped. Basic and cast a Nomolize or Dovin's Veto, fair. Notably, Villain named blue is Sunken Citadel, despite controlling a card with a red activated ability. Curious. Holy shit, he played around Eiganjo. That's crazy. We can win. A villain is holding 3 blanks, so I'm gonna behave as such, as if that was the case. That is not a blank. Unfortunately, I can't use my combat trick to protect my Virtuoso because High Noon is preventing me from doing so. YOLO. If I do hit a second land, this does kill on turn 3. Pretty badly. Would we want to run FOMO alongside Leylines? That is something I thought about. And the answer is perhaps. I guess you probably don't want to play heroic creatures per se then. So attacking into the troll doesn't really do anything for me. They only have 2 cards in hand though, they mulligan to 5. So I can just play the Hoplite and pass. The cantripping effects also probably are better alongside Leyline than God's Willing. So what if, like, you probably want prowess more so than heroic with Leyline actually. Then you also need to benefit from actually copying the spells, but if they draw cards, that's good. Prelim did not fire ? There's no Prelim around the time. There's like no Prelim supposed to be happening anytime soon, so I'm playing leagues instead. I did try to get the cards on my main account and I couldn't, so instead I'm playing on a DB account. So I think I'll be sticking to leagues. Challenges are kind of like leagues anyways. You top 8 and then you get 5 chests, 10 chests. So I wanted to play a league with Boros Leylines, I guess. That deck won a challenge, I think, 2 days ago. Nicol Bolas, Dragon God, classic. Storm. Pretty solid move. Opponent probably can't complain. And we also have an enigmatic list to run through a league. Or through the challenge for what it's worth, but we'll see. Actually, I need to swap my Yorion. Well, nobody cares about a 4-1 league, but everybody cares about a 5-0 league. But regardless, I guess like the Clever Lumimancer
He's a phenomenal
thing is
control
kind of
player.
neat.
Hello kanister_MTG, how are you today?
Może by się draw. Lumimancer Leyline is kind of neat. There is also a second Magecraft monster, right? Learning, like, and subscribe. Maybe you should try to play that. But then, like, you play around, you build around Leyline. Then you won't open with a Leyline most of the time. Lumimancer, Dragon's Guard Elite, put a counter. Much more meme than the bird. I wouldn't cut the bird, but you could cut the heroic monster that specifically wants to be targeted. Nivmagos, holy guacamole. Maybe Storm Kiln Artist for infinite treasures. How do I feel about that? I mind rotted myself with ley lines. I don't think I had. So this is 3, 9, 15. It didn't even bother destroying my creature. Maybe they won't block. I think otherwise I lose this game. Well, I mean, Cacophony Scam might be a consideration. Like, the thing is, you can play terrible cards, but then, you know, you won't draw Leyline in every opening hand, so if you build your deck with the assumption that you will, then it's gonna be a bit rough some portion of the time. When do I cast against a +2/+2? I mean, it was pretty strong 1 mana spell at this point, I guess. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Can they kill me with the lair? At 6, untap. 10, 11, 12, 13. What is that sound effect? What sound effect? It's actually an interesting question, but it's impossible for me to say. Oh, they have the Bolas copy Nissa Kiora to untap. Loran Nguyen, thank you for the sub. Some sound effect plays in between songs. Maybe I'm going insane. You're going insane. What was the last song we listened to? Some songs have like an ad towards the end. Maybe it's like that. Let's swap Crumb and Get It for Dreadmaw's Ire because it grants trample. So it's the same sound. Can you describe it? Could board in portable halls, but that's going to destabilize my deck and it's gonna be pretty bad. There's no ley line, but Slickshot is pretty solid. Light of Hope for ley line sounds like the worst idea I've heard all day. Niktos Shrine to Nyx. Sounds not so bad anymore. I think they will not have a removal spell for my Slickshot Show-Off, but maybe I'll get surprised. Leyline of Resonance. Solid card all around. This is plus 4, this is plus 2, so we have 8 damage with protection from green next turn, so... Kiora. Tab Niktos, 4, 5, 6. According to my calculations, this is going to be lethal. Let's see if I counted correctly. It is giga lethal. Alright. So they have a removal spell, the fight spell, but still I'll choose not to. Like we have, but maybe I could have Crumb and Get It over the vigilance granting spell. Awkward mana here.
He's a phenomenal control player.
Good day.
We have Leyline monster tricks. Two monsters, that's good. We do not play Mana Confluence. Maybe we should. I can attack, cast Rage, or turn. Probably better to just play the Virtuoso. Can only play one red trick per turn, which is a reason to go Lumimancer into combat trick. But like, Kyling the Troll is not good at all. I actively would rather avoid that. And next turn, if I cast Monstrous Rage, copy it, that's just good. So Virtuoso has becomes target of a spell you control, so it's actually conniving per every copy. Wasn't bugged. Not that I know of. Of being bugged. Alright, so Leyline made my Virtuoso kill my opponent. Although frankly, like mono green pretty famously just dies to a Virtuoso anyway, so. Alright. This hand has all the pieces needed. 2 lands, monster, tricks, and 2 Leylines on top of that. Leyline seems like a win more. You win games harder and lose harder. Kinda. Turn to kill? I don't think so. Let me count the damages. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. This is 12 damage. Take Proctor. Just Lotus Field. We're gonna hit hard next turn. We used to play a deck like this in Modern using Cypher and Rebound spells to trigger Heroic and feed Niv Magus. Too bad all Rebound spells in Pioneer are ass. Cypher and Rebound sounds insane. If I play Show-Off and cast spell, then this is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 14. So that is not lethal, but this might be. No, that doesn't matter. Well, actually it matters. -1 counter on my Hoplite. Whoops. Should cast the original targeting the Hoplite for more counters. Soul Partition. Time to count. You have 22 life. I have 12 here, and if I cast a Monstrous Rage, it's plus 6, 7, 8. I have 20. So even if I hadn't missed 1 damage, I would be short. According to my calculations. Maybe the Ancestral Anger should be... 2 Ancestral Anger should be targeting the Hoplite. Then I actually would have killed through Soul Partition. I didn't think of my opponent having a removal spell on Lotus, but it does make sense. They play Soul Partition sometimes, and then I would go just anger this to trample it, but then anger this twice to make it bigger. This would be a 14 power creature right now, and they would be at 22, 14, 8, and I would cast this to add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So actually kind of miss lethal. Well, so here Leyline is pretty good for being fast because it costs 0 to deploy it from my hand. It actually was relevant because of that. Seems like villain is passing though, so I guess it's easier to beat Otawara if I don't cast Show-Off. No, it doesn't really matter. We have Otawara plus Soul Partition. Otawara plus Soul Partition, I would kill 2 monsters, the third one sticks. And I spread turn inside out. Hoplite. So if they have 2 removal spells, they will survive. If they just have 1 removal spell, then if I play Show-Off and I cast this, target this, then this is 6, 9, 6. So I would rather cast Show-Off than Rage because I want to keep Rage in my hand alongside Show-Off. They have actually all the removal spells. DB Kanister wins. We got there. Those decks often play Lockdown. At least I think they do, so let's Light of Hope them. Maybe over the Courage too. This is very much a mulligan. This I'll keep. It's unlikely I'll need to Virtuoso unless it gets removal. Then I actually will. Rending Volley, question mark. I think opponent is on 9 lives plan. And how does Rending Volley help with that? Should have put back a land, seems like. 9 lives. Kind of annoying, I guess, but probably they play that indeed. Virtuosing. Oh. Terrible. Next roster, Leyline. Plays out in Otawara, which is a bad sign. Kind of weird to play Otawara and then cycle your Vizier, but also doesn't really matter. Let's go Lockdown with Proctor. Nope, 9 lives. Well, Double Strike is relatively okay. I'm taking care of that. Should I attack now to take 2 lives off of them? Let's say nope. So if a source would deal damage to you, prevent that damage and put an incarnation counter on 9 lives. So it's like ring protection for 9 turns. That's a crazy card. Beza. Solid alongside Proctor. Let's try Monstrous Rage or something along those lines. Ja pierdolę, no to już te kubki to już jaja ze mnie robią. Flashbang the charm or the scrying. Kill my Lumimancer, not the double striker. Villain indeed plays in mysterious ways. Let's see if they block. They indeed do. Probably has Solemnity in their deck. Likely. Although... Wait, Boseju, not Otawara? I guess just one Otawara in the deck. But yeah, I think I've seen lists of Lotus with just 9 lives as a way to gain life, essentially. Firex an unlife type card. Seems like we both have nothing. Villain boarded down to a control deck and then they're kind of failing to control me very much. I cast Pick Your Poison. Holy guacamole, that would be really neat. Finally, I drew something useful. And it's actually really useful. It might just... Ooh. Might just ruin my opponent. Oh, kurde. Somebody in the chat said, yeah, let's just draw 3 Ancestral Angers, and Mora is like, yeah, sure, why not? Nobody said that. No jak kurwa nie powiedział. 4 Ancestral Angers. Fair. Hmm. I'll attack with all. Do I feel weird playing aggro? No, I enjoy playing aggro. Wow. Really? That's the block. That's wild. What? This is the worst blocks ever. I guess Leyline, Clever Lumimancer would technically be worse, but... How many lives? 6 lives. This opponent... Well, they won't draw anything. I'll take 3 more lives from them next turn. Imagine if you cast 9 lives and your opponent is playing a Proliferate theme deck. That has to be brutal. Probably happens sometimes in Casual Commander. I guess I needed to draw a spell. This is not a... creature that deals damage otherwise, so... It's good. It's a good thing I did. You cannot target 9 lives with Proliferate. Then it's a good thing that that is not what you would have been doing. In fact, a card Proliferate doesn't exist. And even if it would exist, then would it target? Not necessarily. Tails End the trigger. I think it just re-triggers again like Dark Depths, right? When there are 9 or more incarnation counters, exile it. 9 lives. Turn 9, they die. Curious coincidence. We are missing a monster, but I have the Leyline. I'm tempted to keep. Does that mean if you had an Abyssal Persecutor, it would be a draw? Holy shit. I guess so. Unfortunately, your opponent has a creature, which is a problem, but I drew my literal 1 removal spell. I think so. Abyssal Persecutor says all it does, but it does not say that you cannot draw the game. Let's play around Fetal Push a tiny bit. Why doesn't this deck play Reckless Rage? It's because Reckless Rage is much weaker now. With Slickshot Show-Off, that doesn't survive it. Just have a creature that cannot tank it, that's a problem. At least that's when Reckless Rage started cycling out of those decks in general. When Slickshot Show-Off released, like, Show-Off is so good you just play it. Will I die to the Flingman? No Leyline needed. Holy shit, they will also manifest Dread twice. Or would, I guess. It's a better way to put it. Turned Inside Out seems like an upgrade over Titan Strength 2 as well in that red-black deck. What happened? Well, Rakdos did Rakdos.
He's a phenomenal control
thing,
player.
and it just won.
Team.
It's not like I have removal on my sideboard. I could bring Light of Hope to destroy the ley lines. That does not sound like a winning strat. Rending Volley is not Gucci. Portable Hole is sorcery speed, so nice removal spell against Show-Off, right? But nice red card melee in the sideboard. Should play 4 of them, yeah. Why not play Miku the Renowned? Is that better? Now that, like, if you decide to play with Leyline, then Giganta is not something you are concerning yourself with anymore. You can play Feather in the sideboard. Feather is has been pretty okay when I played that in the past. In Heroic. Although Feather is at its best alongside, well, God's Willing and also Reckless Rage. So if you don't have Reckless Rage, Feather is much weaker. Grand Abolisher, sure. But it's why? It's hard to cast and it doesn't do anything, so. Grand Abolisher, holy shit. Am I supposed to keep this? I think so. Leyline of Resonance. Watermelon Sugar. To abolish some fatal pushes. Sounds incredible. Let's plot to prevent my opponent from casting a fatal push right now. Sacrifice 1 damage to do so seems worthwhile. Emberheart Challenger enters. If I let them on top of the monster, will they kill me? Perhaps. So I can do this. And then 5, 5, 3. Even if my opponent pushes one of the Show-Offs, the other one kills them. Well, like if they push it sorcery speed, if they push it non-sorcery speed, then tough luck. They did! Holy shit. Notably, if they push their own Emberheart Challenger, they would copy the push and they could push my Slickshot Show-Off. Which is, you know, irrelevant right here, but if they actually had double Leyline, I could very well see them pushing their own Challenger to push my both Show-Offs. Crazy. Wow. Whoa, the instant damage after tapping my monster. I need to pee. Maybe not Loran's Escape, Light of Hope on the draw over God's Willing. Kind of seems tough to play God's Willing on a draw, and maybe Light of Hope can catch me up. Gain 4, kill Leyline. That might actually matter on the draw. But I need to pee. Let me see, if they move to 6 I keep. They kept 7. Well, I'll keep anyways. First draw step, classic. Suspend Show-Off. We're dead bodies. Hi, is Leyline so OP? Doesn't seem OP. It doesn't seem clearly worth playing. Bro is playing around my non-existent cards. Don't all of these Leyline decks basically fall to Phoenix? It's impossible to tell. I think I haven't played against Phoenix in such a long time. I really can't tell. Okay, we drew a monster. 1, 2. +6. +5. Well, we have 2 show-offs suspended. I can't actually interact with any of them. Maybe somehow they don't have 18 damage. And I need to win somehow, and I think next turn I can win with that. But odds are not on my side. Will the stream be on YouTube? VODs, yes. That's currently 18, which is enough to kill me. The decklist seemed very ill-equipped to handle Mirror or Rakdos, which is more or less Mirror too. Can't take a look. No, jest Leyline trzeba kipnąć, no. Co to jest za kompanionka Hera? This is the Boros deck. It's playing Raw Green Triumph. The version I've seen once had 4 Jetmir's Garden because it was creativity into the green dinosaur, but maybe they just have Atraxa or something else. Fabuła siedzi. I cast Divination. granting trample to both of my monsters. And then drawing like shit. So many lands. Maybe they die though and I am actually fine. 3, 6. This adds 8. This adds 6. So they had 14 and I have 6. So I guess I win. Here the Leyline actually did its job and was pretty impressive. I think Villain's deck is likely to play Hainan main deck or even sideboard. Homestead Courage, nice against an Emperor deck. I will not bother boarding in Loran's Escape. Maybe I'll cut Crumb. Emperor is exile removal. Crumb only protects from a small section of removals. Maybe I can cut Spikefield in one turn. Not sure. Hey Kani, why are you hard testing Pioneer? It's to become the master of Pioneer for the RC and qualify for the PT again. I have to say I kept this hand thinking I have 2 lands. I only have 1. But it's not too bad. They don't kill my Swiftspear, I can cast an Ancestral Recall on it next turn, and that's gonna make up for the lost cards. The cards lost on Leyline of Resonance. No. No i kurwa chuj. We see the many kubkis issue in plain sight. Plot. Dwarven Mine looking not so great alongside Battlefield Forge. There is a little bit of an issue here. Monster is a really good draw. Dobra. Jedziemy. Emperor. What to do? Probably attack with the Show-Off. Have to tank the Emperor somehow. I don't have anything in my hand that interacts with it. +9 and +2, +11. It's not even lethal. Keeping the 10 inside out up is good against sweepers. Light of Hope is good against lockdown. Yep, they are the Emperor. Maybe Villain wants to Okay, they don't want to. I was thinking that maybe villain would like to make samurai, untap make samurai, creativity both samurais, and get 2 copies of the most powerful monster in their deck. But that seems to not have been their plan. Defending Clarion. Which one would I rather spend? Maybe just Light of Hope. Probably not, though. Just Monstrous Rage then. Right? Think so. Let's keep the Light of Hope. If my opponent casts the Enchantment, seems worthwhile to be able to remove it, and if my creature would survive, then it would kill next turn with anything really. Alright, this is looking pretty good. I guess Connive first. Where's my Connive? Did a Connive disappear? Does it not work if I don't choose a new target? Or anything? Like, we had that situation come up earlier and it seemed to work. Well, earlier on we had a situation where I was copying spells and we got the Connives because it becomes target of a spell. This is not like heroic creatures which are whenever you cast a spell. It's a different trigger. Monstrous Rage over Inside Out would have won here. It is true that perhaps it would have been nice to run some spells that give the creature haste. Alright, so what I did differently is that the first time I stacked Virtuoso Connive trigger and then Leyline triggers, and then I do get the Virtuoso trigger. But if I stack Leyline, and Virtuoso on top, and I resolve the Virtuoso Connive, then the Leyline will not trigger the Connive, which is a weird bug, but it seems like that's how it works. Classic modo. Classic modo when new set releases. The wildest bugs. This is 9-3, so I still need to pump once again. Holy shit, Sodic, thank you for the raid.
He's a phenomenal control player.
Kaniki, I must confess, I'm almost never watching the stream.
What are you watching then? Don't settle me. Emperor, that's fine. Alright, we went 3-2. The deck list sucked. Open the chest. Sure. Challenge in 6 minutes. Sure.